Good evening. I'm Sean Blackmore. I'm 47 years old. I'm from Gloucester in the UK and I have Parkinson's disease.
You never belonged to me. Now I could see the light that you are.
First one is PD a blessing or is PD a curse? And I think when I think of this question, I think it's really somewhere kind of between the two, because on the one side, no one really wants Parkinson's disease, and it's a difficult thing to live with. But at the same time, I mean, when I think back to when I was working 40, 50 hours a week, driving, I'd get up, go to work, come home, spend time with my family, get up, go to work, come home, spend time with my family and do other things. But at the end of the day, really, my focus was, I guess, really quite a bit on work. And probably a lot of people can familiarise with that. And when I really start to weigh that up, what is more important? And sometimes when you get a diagnosis like this one, where you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know whether in 5 or 10 years' time you're going to be able to walk or just take part in everyday life or not. You don't know how you're going to react to the medication, you don't know how your treatments are going to go, and you don't know really what's going to happen in the future. And so that kind of changes your focus. So in a way it's kind of a blessing as well, because the blessing side of it is that you can feel that life is so precious. It's not kind of you didn't think life was precious before, but your focus just becomes altogether different. And so my attitude now is a bit different to the attitude I had before I had PD, I guess. It's kind of a bit more stop to smell the roses type of thing, and just value my time with my kids, value my time with my family, my friends, colleagues, everything. I just value it all so much more. So I think it's kind of, if I weigh up the two, I think I would say it's more of a blessing than a curse. So, surprisingly, but there we go. Question 2, what has PD given you despite taking away so much? Well, I guess kind of the answer to that is a little bit from question 1 really, in that it's given me that focus. But that our focus is more on the now than it is in the future. It's given me a focus. It's given me a focus on my life, and it's put everything in perspective. And I just think when you have something like this happen to you, there's just no getting away from it. It's simply there. In Parkinson's disease, the one thing with it is, it's there. It's simply there. There's no getting up every day. There's no getting up the following day and it's gone. You're just living with it every day. Every day it's there. This question is a question that I put in myself really, and I'm very recently diagnosed, just a matter of months really. So I'm kind of very early on the road, although I've probably had symptoms over many years, as people do with Parkinson's disease. Mostly, the main point is that when I think about this question, how was it for you before you had your diagnosis? And that period where you know there's something wrong, but you yet haven't been diagnosed, that period there, because I want to help people out there that may be in that situation, so they've not been diagnosed yet, they know something's wrong, could be Parkinson's disease, but it could be a lot of other things as well. So all I want to say to people is, in this period, if you're in a pre-diagnosis state, you've not been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease yet, is hold on. Just hold on in that period. It is quite frustrating, and I'm sure a lot of people can familiarise with that. It's a frustrating time when you're not in diagnosis yet. Question 4. How is life different for you now with PD? Well, I guess, for a start, I don't take anything for granted. Life is just different. You just got such a different focus. I think if I could put an overarching thing over these questions for me that Kendall's given here, the one word I would use is a different focus from when you don't have Parkinson's disease to when you do, whether it's a blessing or it's a curse or whatever. All these questions revolve, mostly for me anyway, around your focus changes. And you just want to make the most of it when you can. You just want to do as much as you can when you can, and just try and maximise your life, because in 15 years' time, 10 years' time, I don't know how I'm going to be. So that's that one. The fifth and final question: what will happen when your family with your family in the future as PD progresses? Kind of a difficult question, I guess, because we're so early on in it, and we're still even just understanding more about the condition, really. We don't really know much about Parkinson's disease, even now ourselves. We've done more and more research about it, of course, as a family. But one thing that our family has adopted is this, that we're going to just take each day as it comes. We're not going to go too far ahead in our planning. So in other words, we're going to just deal with this year. How's this year going to be? And my wife, she's from Mozambique, so we want to go over there and see the family over there. So probably you might even say getting a lot of things done now is quite important to us while I still can. I wouldn't be without my family, and my family wouldn't be without me. So we're in this together, and I've got a fantastic support from my wife and my children. They support me 100%. But yeah, I mean, when I really think of that question though, it's a tough one. It really is tough, because the last thing I want to do is burden my family or place a lot on my family, and of course Parkinson's disease does do that. But we're just trying to be positive and see where it takes us. So there we go, that's the questions. I thank you for your time. We're all together on this journey with Parkinson's disease, and yeah, we can all have different ways of thinking about the condition. We can all have different ways of how we act with it or how we deal with it, but ultimately we are in it together. We're sort of like a family. We understand one another in the condition, and I just want everyone to know that as tough as it is, just take one day at a time. Thank you.
If you run to me, lost like when you run.